what's going on? What's going on, family? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Glad you're joining us today. A lot going on. As Fani Willis, I guess it was Thursday and Friday. So since our last show, she was on. She was in a hearing. It wasn't a trial because, as she reminded the Trump lawyers, that they were trying to put her on trial, no matter how hard they tried. She's not on trial. But there was some conversation around her relationship with old boy, and that got kind of messy. Donald Trump, this dude done released some sneakers, y'all. If y'all haven't seen it, he's got some. I think the streets is calling them the January 6s or the Insurrection 6s, whatever they want to call them. But they look like the shoes that they probably spray painted in the costume department when they made the Wiz. Sell them $3.99, and so there's that. Beyonce is driving folk crazy because she said, you know what, I can do country music. It don't make no difference. And so now she's talking about doing the world tour and everything country music. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, we out here in these social media streets, and we need y'all to come hang out with us. This is where we are right now. As you can see, the show's live. This is our Life Full Circle page. We got to get our subs up. If people don't know about the social media space, full transparency, you got to get your subs up to a certain level before you can start monetizing. And it's time to start monetizing because we've been giving you all this great, amazing, free content for a lot of years. But there's a lot of stuff going on in these social media streets, and we got babies to feed. So come hang out with us. Follow us. Instagram, all that stuff, the tickety-tocketies and all that stuff.
Tickety-tocketies.
Tickety-tocketies. Super
What up, Happy President's Day. Yay. I know. Crickets, I get it. I just tagged you in that video I wanted to see on Instagram. Pick up your phone, look at it so I can see you laugh live in front of everybody.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Horrible. It wasn't horrible. It was just goofy.
What platform, as you are producing the show live? Instagram.
So guys, listen, I'm a woman who works out 3 to 4 times a week. Mm-hmm. And it did not prepare me for a children's trampoline park.
Hold on. Let me see. All right. So I see my mans and them hanging out in the trampoline park. Is that? Hold on. Who is that? Is that you? I'm like, who is that on him? Oh God, I gotta pull this up.
Y'all, he's laughing for a reason. My mom is not using this as her screensaver. My mom was there when it happened and has watched it multiple times.
I'm over here looking at the little bubbles, at the little stuff, and I'm like, hold on, what the heck? What the heck? All right, so as I find that,
I wasn't ready.
Jesus, Mary Joseph, she's sitting up here and fell on some little baby child.
Some little baby white child.
Some little baby child that got fell upon. And
here comes this giant black woman who fell on top of her.
My God.
And then I stayed there. Just laying in the ball.
That's what I was like, okay, who is this person that's standing there in there with these children and ain't even moving herself, and it's you. All right.
Me.
So anyway, let me see.
Let's get started.
The world has got to see this. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
So right there.
Wait, go to the beginning of it. How do you start it over?
It's about, there you go. That's you. I know it said I'm out.
He did.
Daddy.
My baby jumped in. That was my baby that jumped in right next.
Daddy, Mama just fell on a little white girl. Oh, I gotta go tell Daddy. Girl.
And then my baby jumps in. There we go.
Oh my God. So little child got fell upon because Kia thought she could work out. She been out there with the Orange Theory, and nope, you ain't ready. All right. So anyway, getting back.
Are you guys still going to Orange Theory? Okay, crickets. Oh, you gave up. Damn. It's sad.
It's working out would not defeat me. I was just, I was never an amazing athlete, but I wasn't terrible.
Oh, you about to lie. you about to like massage this.
Hold up. Then maybe go to YouTube, pull it up. When I had
pull up what on YouTube?
No, in Hampton City schools, they've done an amazing job of videotaping. There is video on.
That's great. You're now 50 with a dad bod. We're talking about now, not then. Now you're now 50 with a dad.
Whatever. You can't take away from what I was. I can hoop. Anyway,
Okay, let's get started,
So
guys.
today's show of Life Full Circle Radio, so I'm really at this point now. It is what it is. Old boy had a little famous thing a couple of years ago. It's above me now. This whole social media, now everybody got grievances. We gonna come out in these streets and talk about anything and everybody. It's no stopping it now. Now there's some clip out there with man, I forgot my man's name. He used to be a funny comedian back in the day. Now he out here in these streets. He going on tour with Cat Williams, because right now Cat Williams and Monique's will be going on tour. But now he talking about Shannon A. Sharp. Now he gay and blah 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 blah.
Oh, Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin. I'm just like.
And by the way, I don't know if you've ever been to I've been to an Eddie Griffin stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
It is the worst stand-up you'll ever go to. If you want to listen to somebody drunk scream the F word at you over and over again in the N word, then that's your type of comedy that you like. I do not think Eddie Griffin is funny at all. Scripted shows, maybe. That was bleh.
I don't really go to comedy shows like anymore. I don't know. First of all, the pandemic got me up in this house. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Unless I got really something to do, half the time, and I only want to go to the grocery store, and it's 2 miles away because of Instacart. I just man, I don't want to see people.
And see, that's why you have a dad bod, because you stay at home, you get Instacart.
I'm not gonna sit up here and take your insults so lightly. I'll just no, I'm not gonna do it. Anyway,
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying.
Exactly.
So what do we lead with? Monique. Okay, so I actually know this story because this came across a timeline last week on Monday. Shalone Jackson, who was Monique's estranged son, and that's, I'm not just reading off the title. He came out after her Club Shay Shay interview. And what he was talking about in his kind of commentary that he posted on TikTok, that of course got reposted on the socials, is how Monique was talking about, the universe will allow their relationship to get fixed. And she definitely was honest about saying, we don't have a relationship right now. I don't talk to my son, So Shalom came out and just made it very clear. It's not the universe. We just won't be talking because of certain things that you've done. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that my mom is successful, but she sacrificed sacrificed me as her child, basically, or being a mother for success, which we hear a lot of celebrity kids feel that same way. This is not new. Right. He was very eloquent. He wasn't disrespectful. He didn't call her out her name. Right. He didn't say anything rude or disgusting. Right. But it then turned into a weird back and forth where now Sydney, the stepfather, is involved. And Sydney sucks. He sucks as a person. He should have never said anything. And then he brought up the fact that Shalom might have mental illness. And, we helped you put a down payment on a car. And we bought clothes for your daughter. You mean your grandchild? You bought clothes for your grandchild? I don't have. That's not how that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry. I just go ahead. Finish your thought.
And then Monique posted screenshots of their conversation saying, "Oh, I'm a mother who doesn't love my son. Here are the receipts." Now, the receipts were from 2021. What year are we in now? 2024. And all you see is her son almost asking for her attention. Like, hey, I got to get this going on. Or, hey, what do you think about this? And, hey, I just called you. And he's not getting a response back. So how was that proof?
Here's the thing. Everything you just said, I appreciate you taking all that time to say it. And I appreciate it. I really do. But here's where I begin and end with this stuff. This is not our damn business. What problems they're having in their family. It's not our business. You know what I mean? It's like people who know me, that, shout out to my baby, my oldest daughter, 24 years old tomorrow. We had some challenges. You know what I mean? We had some challenges.
I remember those days.
It wasn't about, and the challenges and that stuff is behind us, period, point blank. She's an adult. Much love to her mother. And we've moved on. All of this dealing with grown 30-year-old children and talking about how we estranged our relationships and all this stuff, man, grow up. You know what I mean? This is the nonsense, man, that just keeps this nonsense going, and it's not healing anybody.
No, you're right. It's not healing anybody. Ayanla, please come back. You're needed. But I do feel she really.
I'm done with y'all.
Monique makes it a point to air her grievances out everywhere. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, just because that's all she got. I'm like, you gotta have more talent. You had more talent to that. Go ahead.
She did. She aired her grievances out anyway, but then her son comes out to air his grievances, which he could have done a while ago, and he's never done. He does it once, and now everybody is saying he's chasing clout, they cut him off, and that's why he's doing this and all other kind of crazy crap. And it makes me concerned for Black men who are on social media platforms, who are being honest, who are being real, and they're treated like garbage. He didn't say anything. Yes, it's not our business. Miguel's like 100% right. It's not our business, but it's not like he came out here and said anything that was cash crazy. It was just
the bottom line is like this culture. Can we even let's try to run down all the public beefs that we can just run off of our head, right?
Benzino and Eminem.
That the other day. Benzino was interviewed by the Breakfast Club. This brother is full on in tears.
Not the Breakfast Club. That wasn't the Breakfast Club.
Not the Breakfast Club. I'm sorry.
Drink
That's a whole nother grievance platform. Drink Champs. Benzino, he goes 1 minute talking about he don't give a F about Eminem. The next minute, he's saying if I see him, I'm going to hug him up. Next minute, he's saying I'm going to knock him out if I see him with these. I'm like, dude,
then
pick a struggle. I'm talking about full on balling.
Bawling, crying. But in Benzino's slight defense, you know me, I love playing both sides. I think that was the liquor. You know how we all get. We be talking tough, and
it was something. Yeah.
Is Benzino still alive?
Benzino is still alive, and he out this joint trying to pick a fight with me. He talking about how all the DMs and white folks jumping in his DMs because he beefing with bruh.
Nobody knows who you are, Benzino, to jump in your DMs. Like you see, Andre didn't even know you were still with us, Lord. Like, no. Anyway, back to and you're right. It's a lot of online beefs that happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like in this situation with Shalon and Monique, Monique makes it seem like it is all on Shalon. And we're both parents. Me and Miguel are both parents. If we had a strange relationship, it wouldn't be on my son to fix it. I would be banging on my daughter or son's doors to fix it. My mother is the same way. Me and my mother have got an argument, and my mom will be the first one to be like, okay, so you were mad. Are we over it now? Let's talk about it because I don't like it. Monique is acting like you're grown. She's acting like this is some fan. You're grown. I'm grown. Let's talk it out. And if we can't talk it out, then oh well. What? Is that parenting? Parenting?
It's not in my book. It's not in my book. When I look at this thing, I'm just like, it's sad. And we know people. I know people who know Monique personally and all this type of stuff. And anytime you bring up Monique's name, it's kind of one of them things where they just kind of have that.
Yeah, she be trying.
Because you feel like underneath all of this nonsense, it's like you know how much there's a lot of muscle under a whale's blubber. You feel like there's a lot of nonsense under all of this blubber that we're seeing, right? Show more of that.
But her nonsense walks right next to her and has a voice, and his name is Sydney.
That's
her problem. Her blubber is Sydney. Her problem is Sydney. Think about all the issues. Sydney's right there saying, my wife is right, and we needed this, and we didn't get that, so we got to stand up, and we got to have a voice. Negro, nobody asked you. You are literally only here because she loves you. You have no you have no capability as a manager. You were only here. It's the same thing with Kevin Hunter. Kevin Hunter kept saying, I made Wendy Williams. I made Wendy Williams.
I was like, Kevin Hunter.
This and that. Okay. They break up. He couldn't replicate the success he did with Wendy. So how are you successful and you know what you're doing if you can't replicate the same success and now you are bankrupt because you couldn't replicate it?
Has that show come out yet? That Wendy Williams documentary come out yet?
Know. Let me look.
So I just we tried. Okay, so we got Cat Williams versus every black comedian. You've got Club
Nicki
Shay
versus Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion. You've got who else is out here beefing in these streets? It's like
it's a lot.
And I don't
it's
see
fine.
It's not going. This is not going anywhere. It is going to continue.
New beef. Ruffles potato chips versus Chris Brown.
Why?
We'll move that to the home one unless you want me to go through it right now. It's up to you. I'm fine either way.
Because I need to pull that up so we can have some visuals on that. But we'll move that to the what?
We'll move it to what? Because that is a really weird beef, and I'm like, and Ruffles actually responded. I was like, oh, Ruffles, y'all in it? And then Ruffles was in the neighborhood talk comment saying this ain't got nothing to do with us. It's not us. I was like, wow, Ruffles.
I think I did hear about this.
We'll save it for what. But next story that we need to talk about that's really important, and we don't want to skip by it, is that there was a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. which actually took the life of, I think it only took the life of one person now, not only like she's
Yeah,
insignificant, but there were
one too
multiple
many.
injuries. I'm just going to pull this up. Kansas City shooting. Make sure. So here's what happened. 2 juveniles were charged with crimes connected to the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl rally. Authorities said Friday as the city tries to recover from the aftermath of the violence. A news release from the Jackson Family Court says the juveniles were being detained in the county's juvenile detention center on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. So what happened was the parade is going on. I'm trying to find the actual. Sorry, guys.
It's just, you know, as she's pulling it up, it's just, to me, the beginning and end of the story is that this is insane, right? You know,
It basically is. I mean, I'm not
yeah.
going to go into the full thing, but basically, these 2 juveniles, it might have been 3, were having an argument. They all have weapons. They start firing at each other in a crowd. This is the Kansas City Chiefs championship parade. So there are thousands of people everywhere. And a DJ was actually shot and killed. There were people who are running for safety.
DJ?
And of course,
so there was more than one person killed.
Yes, it was 2. No, it was one person killed. She was a DJ. She was a DJ. Like,
oh wow.
For
so she wasn't DJing for the event. She was just there, and she's a DJ. It was her profession.
She was there for her radio station.
Wow.
So she was a DJ for a Tejano radio station, and she was killed there. Mom, she was a mother, she was a wife, and she was killed.
Yeah.
And it just it makes people very nervous about going out in public. Like, this was a fun event. But so 2 idiots with guns decide we're mad at each other, so we're going to shoot each other in close range and shoot. If you watch the video when the shooting happened, it wasn't 1 or 2 shots. It was multiple rapid fire gunshots you see go off. It's very disturbing.
And you know what's disturbing? And this obviously was the show. Did the Joel Osteen shooting happen since our last show? I don't know if we talked about that in our last show.
It happened before our last show. It happened. Yes.
You know, so that's. And we're having this conversation often now. And like you said, all this other stuff, I'm running down what we're going to talk about today. How could I forget that there was a shooting at the parade for the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs since our last show? Because that's where we are. That's where we are. It's crazy that we live in a society which is driven by such violence and grievance and just nonsense on a regular basis. And that's another reason, man. Instacart, come on to the house. I'm just like, what if I don't have to get up out of here and I'm not supporting my kids or supporting my family? I'm just like, what's the use? You know what I mean? It's like, but then there's so many great things. The Roots Picnic just announced their lineup for this year.
And Jill Scott's leading it up. I saw that.
Jill Scott, Nas, and so many. It's just gonna be amazing. You know, it's so funny. Saran came in. She said, "Oh, Jill Scott. I think somebody's coming, a younger artist." And
I don't want to see a younger artist. Nope, I don't want to see a younger artist. I don't want to see your belly button and your low-rise pants. I don't want to see you.
You know what?
Take you and your bodysuit somewhere else.
You know who's gonna be there?
Who?
Sexy Red.
You're joking, right?
I am so serious. So, point being, we'll come back to that.
What? Just add it to the what bucket. But yes, everybody is desensitized to shootings. And interesting enough, guess who actually came out on top in this Kansas City shooting? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Not Patrick. Who's his little Jackson Mahomes? His idiot brother.
That's the brother. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, when the shooting happened, he was at the Union City station. He took off running, and there was a little boy who was lost. He sat with this little boy the entire time, calming him down, and the little boy couldn't find his parents. So, you know, congratulations, Jackson. You've gotten yourself out of from being a sexual abuser, maybe from this, but you know, it's sad. And then people were also complaining how the Chiefs players and their wives went out to dinner afterwards. They didn't go to some lavish dinner. They went to like some pub down the street to have dinner. They took pictures with police officers and first responders, and people are complaining about that. I'm like, well, what did y'all want them to do? Grab their vests and guns and go look for the shooter, or be part of the investigation? You know,
here's the thing. Some of us grew up in the hood. Now, people ain't crazy enough to shoot when you got a million people out there, but we've been in communities where, you know, there's a shooting in the community. God bless. It didn't happen. We didn't get hit. You move on with your life, right? So that didn't, we may have talked about it, but all of a sudden I wasn't, mourning for the next 10 days because there was a shooting, unfortunately. And that was 30 plus years ago when we were kids, right? So no, I don't expect the players to sit up here and say, "Now, all of a sudden, I'm not going to, I'm not going to continue with my life." But it's just sad, man. Just before I was looking at the news before I came here, there's a Minnesota shooting in Minnesota. 2 police officers and a first responder lost his life in Minnesota
Or
last night.
murdered. I did see that. Yeah.
You know, and we're so desensitized to this that it's just like the weather. It's like you almost expect to see somewhere in this country it's happened again, and I don't know, man. We
And
got.
let me tell you, I know we shouldn't say this. I know as Black people, everybody gets weird when you say this, but I always feel sadder when it is a police officer and a first responder killed, because they're going into a situation, attempting to help, attempting to fix, attempting to do something, you know, to make a situation easier, better, safer for people, and then losing their lives. They sign up for this, and it doesn't mean they deserve to die when they sign up for this. And yes, police officers make mistakes.
Yeah,
they're not perfect.
There are no absolutes. There are no absolutes. My
Yeah.
father was a cop for 23 years. I know a lot of people who are all police officers are not bad. So let's you know, and anybody who wants to jump in my DMs and talk to me about that nonsense. Okay, let me
Bring
clear.
it on. We're good.
Let me clear. But we know there's a huge problem with the way that Black folks are treated in a lot of cases by police officers. But when it's all said and done, cops are running into the midst of fire. They're not running away from fire.
Absolutely.
And so they're getting into it. You know, I just want to have a fun moment just for a second because we.
Cool.
So before we get into it, and I'm throwing you a curveball. I don't know if you've even seen this yet. I'm just giggling because it's over here. Shout out to creators. Kevanstagestudios had a series called Churchy. And which
I'm
is
a huge Kevanstagestudios fan. I'm a member of the Patreon. Stage crew back here. I'm a stage crew member.
Well, shout out to his crew. Because now that show got picked up on BET Plus.
BET Plus, yep.
This skit had me in tears the other day. Oh,
is it the one with Tabitha?
Today because
where's the one with Tabitha? Is the one that has me crying
about the dance ministry ever since you took over.
What's the complaint? The dance ministry is so much better. It's more modern. It's not old and stuffy like it used to be.
Angel, the complaint is that you introduced twerking.
Oh, the pat.
Can you please not do that?
Why? It's art. What? This is our heritage. It is our ancestors speaking through us. It's the sound, the rhythm. Pat.
It's not biblical.
What you mean it's not biblical? David danced. You hear me? And I know that thing was loose because they didn't wear drawers back in the day. So that thing was clapping.
That was this clap.
Exactly, right? You be having people clap the tambourine. I'm just trying to clap these jamborees. Pat. Okay? This is salvation and the Holy Spirit in each cheek. Just
all
come in together.
Wait,
my church family. I know y'all laying me out right now.
The Tabitha Brown one. That was my favorite.
There is Lexi Television. I think it's her handle. First time I really found out about her was this Kevanstagestudios churchy skit. And I'll try to find another one before we get about here. But shout out to Kevanstagestudios and Jess Hilarious and Tabitha Brown and these other folks that have they've committed themselves to these social media platforms, and now they are now.
And listen, Kevanstagestudios has been around for a while, and he's one of those men who has been dedicated to doing it himself. Because I don't know if you know this, Churchy, he paid for himself. Yeah. Produced it, wrote it, directed all by himself. Had no idea what he was going to do. He put it out on his app because he had an app. Put it out there, promoted it, and then he sold it to BET Plus, and now it's popular, and they're hoping for a season 2, which will probably be a lot better. Not better, but like bigger produced or whatever. Yeah. But he has his podcast, and his wife has a podcast. They are loyal to their fans and their Patreon, and they mean that they're doing a.
They are amazing.
I love Kevanstagestudios. My mother loves Kevanstagestudios.
Absolutely, and what they have done with their platform, and understanding what the market wants, and responding to the market. Kudos to them. Because when it's all said and done,
responding to the market in a positive way.
Absolutely, and I'm looking for the Tabitha Brown. I can't find it. So, but we're responding to the market in such a way that now, as you mentioned, they put themselves in the driver's seat, right? And you put yourself in a position when it's all said and done. Here is the vegan. Yeah, this one is funny too.
It's the vegan. Play it real quick, please. I need it. I need it in my soul. This is my favorite clip.
Hold on. Yeah, this is funny. So, but they have so much more control.
Hey, Sister Tab, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good.
Very good. Listen, a couple of members of the church and I were talking, and we would love to have vegan options at the next fish fry.
Vegan options in Texas.
Yeah. You see, we don't have no problem with the fish fry. We would just like to have options that we can enjoy.
Who's we? Aren't you the only vegan at the church?
Well, that's not really the point.
Oh, well, I mean, the fries are vegan.
The fries are cooked in the fish grease.
Well, I mean, Jesus started the fish fry. He had the 2 fish and the 5 loaves of bread, so we're really just here to honor his work.
Let me tell you something. I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me well.
Okay.
You are going to make sure that we have vegan options at the next fish fry. Because if you don't, you're going to see a side of me that people don't normally get to see. Okay, it ain't always sunshine. Okay, you know the sun has to set, and then you see the dark side of the moon. Do you want to see the dark side of the moon?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't. It ain't pretty. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to see Jesus?
You want to see Jesus?
Before they clip us and give us copyright strikes. Here's the funny thing about Tabitha
Do you want to
Brown.
see Jesus?
Tabitha Brown is she could play in a psycho flick, or what's my man name who did the one from Comedy Central that did Get Out. She could have played a character in one of those flicks, man, because that smile is it delightful and deadly all at the same time.
When she leaned forward, let me tell you.
She said the fries.
What's gonna happen?
The fish is fried in fry grease. I mean, the fries are fried in fish grease. Yeah.
But she right though. Black people, we gotta stop doing it. Giving people vegan options.
Yeah.
And be like, we're gonna take this broccoli, this fresh broccoli, and we're gonna cook it in the grease we just fried chicken in and give it to you because it's a vegan option. Anyway, it's hilarious. Congratulations to Kevanstagestudios. I think it's great what he's done. Him and his wife, Angel, that chick Angel, and her husband are also hilarious. I don't know if you follow them.
Yes.
So,
I saw the video. Yeah. So anyway, that whole crew, Tony Baker, that's the same crew.
Yes, Tony Baker.
Which has manifested them into doing TV commercials for Spectrum and some other ones.
Spectrum.
And so
Tahir was on Abbott Elementary. Tahir made his way onto Abbott Elementary. He's part of the stage crew, or part of the Kevanstage comedy.
Tahir,
and he was. Remember when they had the famous the guy from Broadway who was in I can't think of it. The guy on Broadway went to Abbott Elementary. Yes, Leslie. Remember when Leslie was at Abbott Elementary trying to change the school into a charter school?
Yes.
Tahir was on that episode.
Okay.
He was one of the parents saying, so my kid's going to be like, we got a lottery for this? Like, what is it? I got to pay the lottery scratch off to get my kid into school? So
okay, I remember. It's funny you say that because Saran was watching Abbott Elementary earlier and I was catching some old episodes. That show was amazing. I love that show. And so shout out to these creators that are doing it in that way. And you know, God continue to bless us. You know, there's some things we're going to be doing in that space and we're going to keep pushing.
You know who needs to be blessed with talent? Jennifer Lopez. That's who needs to be blessed with talent.
What happened? How Jennifer Lopez get in this conversation?
She has a whole album out and a whole Prime movie and a documentary coming out about her struggles and her relationships. And this might be my last album. And it's just like, girl, you have no talent as a singer. Are you an entertainer? Yes. Would I go to a J-Lo show? Absolutely. Would I dance my butt off and be all excited? Yes. Would I want to see you stand there like Adele and sing all night? Absolutely not. I would rather listen to cats having sex than listen to her stand behind a mic and sing.
Jesus.
I got that out of my system. We can move on.
All right. So let's move on. We got 2 more things we got to get into before. What time is it? We rolling. Your man's over here all of a sudden is selling sneakers.
Oh, God. It's like my man's.
Your man's over here. So... Donald Trump is selling his Insurrection 6s for $3.99, and supposedly they sold out immediately.
Of course they
did. I can get my Trump voice in right now. On one side, you have some people who are very seriously trying to manage this government, right? On the other side, you got this clown and his minions. And they're sitting back, and this guy has a very, very real possibility of getting back in that office. And I just sit back and I just sit back and say, where are we? And then we got all these folks running around here talking about how, you know, one is as bad as the other. No, one is not as bad as the other. It's not.
No. It's not. You're literally comparing apples to spaceships at this point when it's
Oh
coming
my
to
God.
one as bad as the other.
There's been so many, and take this from somebody else. For people who don't know, I want y'all, all humility, Google me and understand this is fun what I do here. But I'm a huge advocate in this Atlanta market for Black business, for entrepreneurship.
That's a fact.
I do a lot of work in that space, along with my friends and my buddies with Atlanta Black Chambers. We do a lot of work in that space, so we know what's going on, not only in this city but in the state and also in the Fed. We understand what is going on in the space, and we know that the Biden administration has done a lot of stuff to open up opportunities for Black folks in business. They've done a lot of stuff to open up Black folks that are not in business, right? Everything cannot say it was done for Black people. Stop looking for it to be like, oh, this was done for Black people. If it was done for poor people, if it was done to give people opportunities, if it was done for women, Black women can go get contracts. Black women can go get help for their children. Black women can go write grants to money to get grants.
They can.
It can't always say Black, because when it says Black, then all of a sudden, then of course you got the people out here who screaming racism. So, but that's not what all these people, these clowns talking about what Trump gave and the stimmy checks and all this. You guys are.
The only thing I can say in support of Trump in a teeny tiny bit, because Miguel knows I'm a Republican and I'm not down for it. When I will say when he was president, he put a lot of emphasis on small businesses. So when tax season rolled around, it made it easier for small businesses to get a lot of that money back. But that's the only thing he did. There was nothing else positive he did. And I feel bad for his cult. And I'm not calling them his supporters. I'm calling it a cult now. Because he put out these sneakers because he's trying to pay off that $350 million judgment that he just had to face in New York.
In addition to the $88 million that he's had.
In addition to the $88 million. Yeah. He is banned from doing real estate in New York, I think, for the next 3 or 5 years. 3 years, I believe. He's banned from doing real estate in New York. And I listened to his followers on social media. I'm big on Twitter. And they're all saying they're just against Trump. They're just against Trump. So can he just so everything Trump has done is perfect? And everybody else is crazy? That's not how life works. Like, it's not. There are actually truckers who are organizing, who are for Trump. And a lot of Trump supporters are truckers. A lot of them. Who are basically saying, we are not dropping off any supplies, goods, anything to the state of New York because of this judgment. Which is insane to me. Trump is selling shoes.
Sound like opportunity to me, Black truckers. Go ahead and get those loads and drive on up to New York. Get that bread.
And even funnier, did you know that they put out a GoFundMe to help him pay for the $350 million? There's a GoFundMe out there right now.
People just like, I don't know, man. At this point, I'm like, it's above me now. I just need to we need to find that sound. Every time I just get to the point, there's no answer for this stuff. The only answer for this stuff is when it comes around to next November, when it comes around to mid-October, when this early voting begins, vote. Stop
Trump
listening to
doesn't give a damn about us. He doesn't give a damn about the American people. This is all of him trying to be a dictator or a king. He would, if tomorrow America said, we're not only going to have a president, we're going to have a king. It's going to be a monarchy now where it's just now, you're just born into it. But Trump's going to be the first beginning of it. He would love it. It would be some magical thing for him. That's what he wants. He doesn't want to be a president where you have to work with both sides, where you have to work with the legislature, you have to work with congressmen and senators and this and that to make things happen. You have to listen to your governors to get things done. He wants to just be able to do everything the way he wants to. And that's not how a democracy works.
No, it is not.
That's what we all voted for, was a democracy.
Yes, we all vote for and people will question that and say it's more of a republic than a democracy, but that's a whole different civics lesson we're not going to have right now. But it's staying on the same vein, Fani Willis, the district attorney.
Is it Fani or Fanny?
It's Fani. It's Fani Willis, who is for people who don't know, she is the DA here in the Atlanta area who is prosecuting Donald Trump for trying to steal the election, the whole nine. This circus that was going on last week with her at this this hearing was interesting. I didn't realize that my sister Fani Willis, and I say that colloquially, she's a sister girl, no question about it. And the way she was handling herself, she basically said when she got up on there, when she told that woman, "You's a lie, this a lie, and this a lie," and she sat back like, shoot, what I say when the judge broke in there. So here's the problem for people who may not be following this situation. If this judge somehow finds in favor of the Trump team, it's over. It will not. This will not see the light of day, and this trial will not see the light of day before before the November election, which means that we're in danger of this man not being disqualified. When it's all said and done, everything you guys see is going on is to keep him off the ballot. He'll never. I don't believe he's never going to jail. For people to think he's going to jail, he's never going to jail.
No. He's never going to go to jail. What they're going to do, because he was a former president, what they're going to do is just fine him out the butthole. Like, it's going to be fines and fines and fines and fines and fines, and those fines have to be paid. And he's going to be probably into being the first. Well, no. And let me tell you. Let me explain.
I'm listening.
He doesn't have to pay them directly, but you have to pay lawyers to fight the appeals and to go back and forth for their court. You have to pay these people.
But he don't pay.
So
people.
do you really want? He doesn't, and that's why he's got more disgruntled lawyers who are on CNN, which you've seen, MSNBC, who are talking because they're disgruntled because they haven't been paid and they haven't been this. It's just really ridiculous that we've reached a point where we used to make it mandatory for a president to have served in our military. George Bush Jr. was the last president to serve in our military. Now, none of that matters. It doesn't matter that you serve in the military. It doesn't matter that you've done anything. We've gotten to the point where a billionaire with a big mouth.
But it wasn't required.
It was an unspoken rule.
It was unspoken. No, correct for your family to have some affiliation with having served, and that that now since Reagan, that's a wrap. But maybe even Carter, back to the late 70s. But there's such a disconnect with the people.
There is.
It's such a disconnect. But this sister right here, she said, "You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial." This is just one of the.
But Fani was a little too. She put a little too much sauce on her chip. Don't get me wrong. She has every right to be frustrated, annoyed. But she was talking to them how I talked to Devin when the school already called me. You about to lie to my face. Where you sit on the couch like, so what happened at school? I had a good day at school. Oh, you had a good day at school? That's what you had? You had a good day at school? Are you sure you had a good day at school? What else happened at school today? And let me tell you first, Devin, the school already called me. Is that not how Fani Willis was on that stage?
She was very sister girl. She was very, very, when she started talking about her daddy taught her how to keep money in the house and all. I'm just like, girl, ain't nobody, we don't need to.
It was secondhand embarrassment because, like, girl, you really are taking it a little too country, sister girl, a little too I drink sweet tea on the porch barefoot. Like, no, like, you need to dial it back. This is smidge.
When she kept on making a little statement, you should sit back and do this.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Like, what's y'all next move? All right, I didn't shut that down. What's y'all next move?
Was the lawyer a white woman? Because I feel if it was another black woman, it probably would have been World War V.
Oh yeah,
if it was another black.
She was actually absolutely a white woman. Wasn't nobody black up in that courtroom but her and her dad.
So here's the thing, though. Do you think Fani was only doing that kind of reaction and that kind of feedback and pushback because it was a white female lawyer? She wouldn't have done that with a lawyer of color, Indian, Hispanic, Asian. You really think she would have acted like that with a woman of color?
I think Fani Willis is a lot smarter than people. She ain't no clown lawyer. She knows what she's doing.
She's not. And full disclosure to our listeners, I don't care about her having an affair. I don't care if she had sex with this man 6 ways from Sunday on the desk in front of people. I don't care. It has nothing to do with what we have going on right now.
Right.
But it just her behavior was a little much.
I believe that was all part of the act. I really do. I think when it came down to it, she was like, okay, I'm gonna play this game with y'all. Because when it's all said and done, I'm not gonna perjure myself on this stand. This is all about y'all trying to act like y'all can really be in my business. I'm gonna give you as much of my business that I'm gonna allow you to understand and get access to. Other than that, I'm gonna have me some fun up here. Because they said flat out, she was like, oh, I was ready to get up on this stand. I couldn't wait to get up on this stand. Because like she said, with that statement, when it's all said and done, she is not on trial.
She's not.
She's not on trial.
And they're trying to make it an ethics morality thing, which is, are you serious about Trump?
Like, dude, come
That's
on,
a joke.
Come
That's a laugh and a half,
Come
darling.
on, stop it.
Laugh and a half.
Stop it. Andre Size, you's a fool, man.
It's Fani. It's not Fani, how you like to call it. Like, no one's calling her Fani Willis. It's
Fani.
Fani.
Andre
Is
side
Fanny
is
like
from
butt?
M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. He say Fanny, but it's Fani Willis.
I've been saying Fanny
Well, you've been
until
saying
there
it
is
wrong.
a
You've been saying
whatever.
it
Well,
wrong.
the
It's
way she
Fani.
acted on that stand is Fanny. The way she acted on that stand is not Fanny. It's Fanny.
So
Fannie
when it's all
Mae
said and
Willis is
done,
who was on that stand today.
Fannie Mae Willis. So when it's all said and done, not as you know, not where's that? I didn't even find that video. It's so crazy my mind works. There's that video with the young lady who used to be working in the Democratic Party with the bald head, and she was talking to Don Lemon.
Oh yeah.
Not on black. We're not talking about Omarosa on this Black History. Not today, Don. So we, you know, this whole nonsense happening when it's this year is going to be bananas until damn near Christmas. Because here's what's going to happen, guys. Just letting you know. When it's all said and done, election will come November 2nd, 3rd, whenever it is. It'll be some sort of challenges and blah, 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 blah. We're not going to know until early December. You know, and if hopefully they hope that the football will distract us, but we're not going to know early December. And folks will be stressing. The retail season is going to suffer. And for those of you who play in the stock market, keep an eye out on retail this year.
Yeah.
It's going to suffer in the fourth quarter because of this nonsense.
And let me tell you, between the black commentators and Jon Stewart, it's going to be a hot mess during election season.
Jon Stewart back. He's like they done brought in the old guns. They said, all right,
big guns.
We got to bring in the big guns. Jon Stewart got to come back out. Because you know, and you don't believe me. We talked about this on the show last week. I'm telling you, and they do this every year around presidential cycles. All the others, which are the black folk and the women and the gays and everybody else, has to take backseat to white folks to get to the presidential list. They take everybody off TV and they don't get that primetime slot anymore. Then all of a sudden, everything's red, white, and blue, and everything is all about, because it's just like Jon Stewart I didn't realize it had been 9 years. It's been.
I did. It had been because Trevor Noah did a good job.
He did 7 years.
Trevor Noah did such a good job. You started to forget that there was a Jon Stewart. Like, you knew, like, I think he did that show that one time.
Jon Stewart was really good at that show.
And I did forget because Jon Stewart was so focused on his advocacy for 9/11 first responders. I was like, oh yeah, and Trevor Noah. So I'm glad Jon is back. And of course, you've got the Last Week Tonight guy. The British guy, he's also very much an anti-Trump guy.
Last Week Tonight guy. I don't know who is that.
I forgot his name. Hold on.
He's on Showtime or HBO, right? Some little short guy with glasses.
Yes.
I can't.
John Oliver.
What's his name?
John Oliver. John Oliver.
Okay. So you know, everybody.
It'll be an interesting, entertaining season. We'll be here.
But
whatever we can.
It's entertainment, but it's not because. Let me just say, there's conversations that I've had. People who work in the space of your camera's been doing that for a minute. There are people who work in the space that are really fretting about the next 8 months because all the progress is going on in infrastructure and a lot of this other stuff. It's going to take a complete 180 if this administration changes. You know, so there's people that are really working their behinds off to try to get stuff done in the next 8 months because if he comes back in there, he's going to blow it up. All right, let's move on. What else? We have not talked about Beyonce yet.
Well, do you want to talk about Beyonce or just go into Hell What? We got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
Let's go into Hell What.
All right, hold on.
Play our theme music. So let's get one story out of the way. Mm-hmm. Let's get this whole Ruffles and Chris Brown situation out of the way. So the story is that Chris Brown was asked to play in the All-Star Weekend basketball game. All-Star Weekend was this past weekend.
It was.
They always have a celebrity basketball game, and then Chris Brown was asked to play. He was then given another email. He was getting another email where it said sponsors were uncomfortable with him playing in the game. And that it was kind of dropped in Ruffles' lap some kind of way because they were the major sponsor, Ruffles Potato Chips.
Yeah.
Ruffles came because the NBA people basically said, you know, we can't because the sponsorships are uncomfortable, this and that, like, but we'll do this and that for you. We want you to sit front row. Chris Brown was like, no, if I'm not playing in the game, I'm not doing it. Ruffles came out and said, we didn't say nothing about you not playing in the game. I'm not sure who's telling you that, but it's not us. So now Chris is going back and forth saying, well, I was sold this, so who's lying? Is it NBA or Ruffles? Ruffles now in the neighborhood talk comment section saying, "Nah, for real, though, it wasn't us. It wasn't us."
So
Yes, neighborhood talk.
So so I'm looking at this right here. Chris Brown is slamming the NBA and claiming he was disinvited from the league's annual NBA All-Star Celebrity due to his past domestic violence controversies. Okay.
Yes.
That was there anybody besides? Hold on. Was there anybody besides Rihanna that he had an issue with? So there was
nobody else, and Rihanna's also gotten over it. Had a song with him. Went back to dating him.
She got a man, got 2 babies. She done moved on. All of a sudden now, Chris Brown is. I'm telling you, you.
Well, wait. Let's point out that Rihanna, after all this happened, way back then, she got back with him, put out music with him. So why is the rest of the world still mad if Rihanna got back with him then?
There are so many people who don't even remember this. I had to go back and try to rekindle this in my mind. And don't people think about, it's never over, but it's not. Domestic violence is domestic violence. It is what it is. It's terrible. It's heinous. But this man done dropped 10 albums probably since that happened. His fans.
He has a #1 song right now.
Yeah.
Sensational.
And so, I just look at this stuff and I'm telling you, man, this situation with the country music, the situation with it's really at a point now where all of the popularity that has happened with black music over the last 20 to 25 years, the industry is trying to reset itself. I'm telling you, it's happening. And that's going back to how Beyonce is thumbing their nose to the country music, the whitest of the whitest popular music.
Let's go into that.
Country music. And Beyonce says, hold my beer. I'm going to come over here because as you guys are trying to sit up here and shake this up and say we can't do, I as Beyonce can go do whatever I want.
Beyonce can go to hell.
Why Beyonce gotta go to hell? What Beyonce do to you?
Beyonce, you are not trying to make country music for people who are avid country music listeners and make it so that you're a part of this genre. You are dragging your psychotic stands from one genre to the next. You took them from R&B, you took them to pop, you drug them over to club dance music. Now you're dragging them to country and trying to make it so you're popular and can win an award. That's not you being good at country music. I don't think Beyonce is good.
I don't think she cares about awards. I don't think she cares about awards.
I'm not saying it's about awards. What I'm saying is she wants to kind of take over the genre or be popular in the genre. Just because you drag your fans over and have them call country music stations and force them, and I know Beyonce's not physically having them do this, but
right.
Have your stands call country music stations and force them to pay her music, which to me is not country. It's just pop music with a twang to it. Congratulations, you put a banjo and a violin to it. That doesn't make it country music.
Shania Twain is from Canada, was the biggest country artist for 20 years. She's from Canada.
Don't you dare besmirch the name of Shania Twain.
I'll besmirch her all day long.
She's Shania Twain.
John Snyder from the old Dukes of Hazzard days, who had the nerve to come out here and compared Beyonce to a dog pissing on a tree, is from New York. So
who said that? Wait.
John Snyder. John Snyder, the dude, Dukes of Hazzard. You not following that story?
Oh, yeah. I pay him dust. The reason why I pay him dust is because you got hired by Tyler Perry and the black people embraced you. And now you're acting like a dum-dum and a dodo bird. So you deserve whatever you're getting. That's different. I am not saying Beyonce is not talented. People getting confused. I'm not saying she's not talented. Beyonce is Beyonce. She is talented. She can sing. But if she didn't have her stands, do you think she could be like the K. Michelle? Because you've heard of K. Michelle, right?
Sure.
K. Michelle's a country singer. K. Michelle through and through is a black country singer. There's a lot of black country singers right now. The boy from Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish. Those are country singers. Beyonce is not a country singer. She's just trying to do it. Country singer?
She can be whatever. Here's the thing. It's music.
If you're about to stand.
It's music. If you really want to know the history of country music and banjos, which was actually who came here from Africa.
But that's not who she is.
She can be with whoever she wants to be. That's the point. If Taylor Swift
Great, she's
coming out, Taylor Swift came
Beyonce's
out as a country artist who all of a sudden became pop. Why is it we can't go wherever we want to go as black folk?
We can go wherever we want to go. There's not a problem with going wherever we want to go. That's great. That's fine. But people are acting like she's about to change the country music industry. And I have a problem with that. I think it's stupid.
It's not. No, that's not going to happen. And that's not what she's got. One album she's dropping, and she's getting ready to show that she can do country music. For people who don't know, some of the best country songs, one of the best songs are written by country artists. Some of the biggest Whitney Houston songs were written by Dolly Parton and others that she sung on an R&B pop scale. It's just music, man.
I
It's
get
just
it.
music.
And also, country music was started by Black people. It was banjos. It was singing in the field.
Right.
It is a genre that is brought on by Black people. It is storytelling. It is engaging with your audience in a different way that a lot of people can't. I just get annoyed when we're trying to. Maybe I have an issue with her fandom, that she's dragging the fandom, and the fandom will make her popular in this industry. Them calling radio stations, forcing her to be played. Is that
they're not forced? Here's the thing: when it's all said and done,
they bombarded the radio station in Oklahoma City so bad. Also sent hate mail to the radio station, made threats so they would play, and they finally played her so that they would stop.
Okay. What's the point?
Okay, what?
I don't care. Because when it's all said and done, nobody will know that they were getting this email if they don't publicize it. Right? If you are a radio station, you get emails and requests and all that stuff. That's part of the business. If you play
How many people threaten people's families at the radio stations who want a song played?
Are we really going to talk about how many Black artists get threatened by folks? Now, just think about it. We just left the Super Bowl where people were hold on.
Radio stations, TV stations.
We just left the Super Bowl where people were pissed because 30 minutes before the football game kicked off, they sung "Lift Every Voice and Sing." We don't have two national anthems. So it's just, people have grievances. We're in a grievance society right now. This girl done dropped two songs. She's gonna drop an album. It's like whatever. It's
maybe my issue with the fandoms for everything. The fandoms have gotten so crazy. They make real decisions, dictating stuff, sports, music, TV shows. I haven't seen it too much. I don't think TV shows doesn't. I don't.
What do you mean by that? You know, in the same industry with Issa
For
Rae
example,
said that
canceling SWAT. They're canceling SWAT. Like the fandoms don't work when they're about to cancel the show to bring it back. They don't. That doesn't work like that. Or making a show popular. If the networks want to cancel it, does it?
Yeah. This show. Think about how many shows that have bounced. What is it? The show right now. What is it? The show with 911. The show that went from Fox. That was what's the Angela Bassett?
Lone Star. 911. It's called 911. Where's it going now? So
it was canceled from Fox, and now I think it's on ABC now because even though Fox canceled it, they said no, we want to keep it. It's if there's enough of a groundswell by the fans, all this stuff is marketing. All this stuff is if there's a market for it.
They canceled My Husband's Baby's Daddy. They canceled Shamar Moore on SWAT. He loves SWAT. He loves Shamar Moore, and they canceled
First of all, Shamar Moore has to be in the record book as the longest employed CBS employee.
CBS employee.
This dude was on soap operas when I was in high school or fresh out.
He went from Days of Our Lives to Criminal Minds, back to Days of Our Lives to SWAT. He's been on that network at least 30 years. Man, Shamar Moore, and then in between that, he put on some wigs for Tyler Perry. I have no doggone sympathy for Shamar Moore. Shamar Moore is a working actor. Grey's Anatomy was canceled. Are hilarious. So Grey's Anatomy was canceled. That's another show that's been on forevermore and forevermore and forevermore. Never seen not near episode of Grey's Anatomy. Listen, Dijon, let me just tell me and Dijon, let's just have a moment. I'm surprised they even canceled Grey's Anatomy because Grey's Anatomy doesn't have we only get 500,000 views when they live. No, Grey's Anatomy gets 7 million views live. Yeah. So they would even think to cancel it. I get it's a long running show, and after a long running show like that, it starts to get a little repetitive and a little
how many more stories do you have to tell? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it gets a little stupid. Now we're like, we all got kidnapped by terrorists and we're in the hospital. It gets a little stupid. Yeah,
after a while. So anyway, the market dictates, but at the same time, I think they're trying to find a way. Artists like where we started this, artists like Chris Brown, who we know, it's almost like they're trying to put Black artists back in a subgenre. The Chris Browns and the popular hip hop and R&B artists that are out here now. And because they don't feel, they're not comfortable with them anymore. The kids aren't comfortable with them anymore. They're loving the Taylor Swifts of the world, which is going back to Vanilla Ice Cream. And when you go back to that type of feel, all these little chunky ice creams is out here. It's like, nah, it's time to pull back.
By the way, if Travis Kelce dumps Taylor Swift, he'll probably be found dead in somebody's ditch somewhere. That's how bad her fandom is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's gonna be interesting. All right, before we get up out of here,
wait. One last what story?
What?
One last one.
What?
Rachel Dolezal, our favorite black-white queen.
My understanding is that she had Rachel Dolezal. My understanding is that she's a school teacher, and she has a Muslim name now or Islamic name or something crazy going on with this story. She tried to hide it.
Well, she changed her name a while ago. I don't know if you remember her documentary, The Racial Divide, that came out a while ago, like pre-pandemic.
Absolutely not.
Where after all this happened, you what?
Absolutely not.
Did you watch it?
Of course not.
I watched it.
Oh.
It was called The Racial Divide. So she changed her name now to Keniche Diallo. Like legally, she walks us through her changing her name on the documentary. So her name is Keniche Diallo, and she struggled finding a job and finding life after her whole scandal. If you don't know the scandal, Google it. We're not going through it right now.
No, we're not going through it right.
So she's now an elementary school teacher, which is great, respectable profession. But she also had an OnlyFans, and the school found out she had an OnlyFans, and they fired her. And let me tell you something, guys. To all my teachers, if you need to supplement your income, which you definitely do because the federal government does not pay you guys enough, and that is BS, you have a better opportunity of selling crack or meth and keeping your job than having an OnlyFans.
You got 3 months off in the summer. There's plenty of stuff you could be doing besides having an OnlyFans.
Selling drugs. That's just me. But having an OnlyFans is not good. Every teacher that has ever been caught having an OnlyFans, they've all been fired. White, black, green, blue. It's not something you can do as a teacher. I get it. You guys don't make enough as teachers. I understand that. But having an OnlyFans where you're out here with lingerie photos or doing stuff with your feet, that's inappropriate.
You know what's so funny? I've been Trey and I were talking about this the other day. Man, me and Trey been together 18 years. We've been married 16 years almost. There's so much I've missed out on being married. All this OnlyFans, the swipe left, all of these social media platforms I've never sniffed. I don't know what those platforms. I don't know what the experience. I'll put it this way: the last one of them type of joints back in the day was Black Planet, right? Like that's how far I go back. Right? So right. So outside of the customary Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that. All these little ancillaries, OnlyFans, where you can just go watch somebody wash their feet online and all this stuff for a fee. I have
Me and Omar met on Tinder, so I have reverence for Tinder. Me and met on Tinder. And I put a couple friends on OnlyFans. Friends
Tinder,
who are nurses.
I have no idea. Tinder's logo would be in front of my face, and I wouldn't know what logo that is. But go ahead.
It's a T.
I don't know what kind of tea it is. I'm a brand guy, so I know. But my point is, I've never been on that site.
But like... you're right. There's a lot of stuff out there, and people are actually saying that certain things are ruining dating sites. Expectations of women are ruining dating sites and relationship sites. But and just to circle back, I get why teachers have to supplement their income. You guys don't make the money you deserve. If you're a teacher, you don't make the money you deserve. Yeah. But going on OnlyFans is not the solution.
Hey man, they're trying to get bread. Before we get up out of here, okay, yes, D, yes, Black Planet, yep, Black Planet. Andre is
Black Planet was awesome.
Yeah. First of all, bro, how long? Greenleaf been gone. Greenleaf been gone. I said it like that for been gone.
Okay, Greenleaf has been gone, but at least they gave them a good final season. Because a lot of the black shows used to be canceling and being like, "Oh, well, y'all just figure it out." And it's a
whole lot of these actors that are exiting these shows. I'm a big. I'm a big Chicago Fire, all that. All the good characters are like, man, we tired of this.
Sorry. Dijon, if you are going to do an OnlyFans, you cannot show your face. They can only prove it if they show your face. So if you're going to do like feet, a lot of guys like feet. I have another friend, I'm not going to say her name on the show. She's a nurse. She's a nurse, and she actually makes a lot of money on her OnlyFans by passing gas in her uniform.
All right, so coming to the Roots picnic this summer is going to be Jill Scott, Lil Wayne and the Roots. They're gonna do a New Orleans joint. Trombone Shorty, PJ Morton, Nas, Victoria Monet. Give it up to Backyard Band with Big G. He's gonna be out there. Scarface, A. Marie is gonna be there. J. Period Live mixtape, Black Thought, Method Man, Red Man. Think of your girl, Sexy Red, Babyface.
Why? Why? Why?
Hey,
it's like having a whole tray full of steaks and being like, "Hey, here's these chicken nuggets from Target." Why?
because some people. You know why? You know why? When we go to dinner, and we get steaks, you don't get your kids steaks. You get them chicken nuggets. So there's going to be kids there that's going to want Sexy Red.
Oh,
they are the chicken nuggets, right?
This is why Miguel is smarter than me. He's exactly right.
So then you got your one little gospel artist, Natasha Copeland. She gonna be here one little gospel right there. Everybody can be drunk by the time she gets on the stage. October London, the dude that sounds like Marvin Gaye.
Praising the Lord, please God forgive me for my sins. It's all day.
I have not. And Andre 3000 gonna be there playing the flute. So
not the flute.
You know he got a new flute album that he came out with late last year.
It's not a flute. It's a clarinet.
It is a flute.
Is it a flute or a clarinet?
It is a flute.
It's a big flute, though.
Flute. That's what the
album is. Is it an oboe?
It's a damn flute, dadgummit. So, you know, I got to look into the Roots picnic because we're going to be sick. Man, the girls about to have us on a doggone. We'll be in Orlando Memorial Day weekend for basketball. Then we got to go to Philly for basketball. Dijon said, "Do you watch the Black Hampton?" What is the Black Hampton, Dijon? I don't know what that is.
Is that the one on Bravo, Dijon? And I don't think it's called Black Hamptons. It might be called something summer. Oh, it's called is it Martha's Vineyard? It's Martha's Vineyard. It's on Bravo, and the cast is all black.
The Hamptons are in Martha's Vineyard, I believe. That's
She might be getting it confused.
Okay.
But Martha's Vineyard is a show on Bravo. It's an all black cast. All of them very successful. All of them.
Oh, she said it's on BET Plus.
Black Hampton.
Kid don't mess with no BET Plus. Kid don't mess with nothing BET.
I don't. I'm not getting it because I'm not getting it the streaming platform.
Anyway, all right, man. Great show. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us as always. Wait. What else?
Wait,
I'm fine. Stop. You don't always want to get up out of here early. I'm good.
Oh, no. It's scripted. It's not reality. So the one I was talking about is a reality show. This is scripted.
Okay.
So just be recycling Lamont Rucker. Lamont Rucker being everything.
Hey man,
you know who Lamont Rucker is.
He's a work. I know who Lamont Rucker. He's a working actor. I know exactly who Lamont Rucker is. He do all that BET TV One, all that stuff. He getting them checks. And
he really do. He getting everything.
He getting that money. He getting that money. Did I tell y'all? Did he tell y'all man Shed was with Tyler and did 2 movies in 2 weeks? About 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, they shot 2 movies, and you got to follow Shed on.
And they're going to be trash. I know we want to work with big media organizations, and we probably won't because of me. But listen, shooting 2 movies in 2 weeks is not even humanly possible. You know that, Miguel.
No,
like,
actually,
even when
it is.
You and I,
Tyler does it all the time. He does.
And that makes it good. That makes it okay.
You didn't. I didn't say whether or not it was good or not. I said it is possible. Tyler does it all the time. People shoot movies in short amount of time. Who lives in Virginia? Dijon, who lives in Virginia? Who lives in the Burgh? You might be talking about because we see Lamont Rucker.
Lamont Rucker lives in the VA.
Okay.
So listen, before we hop off, our last thing we like to do is, what are you watching right now?
We just got finished watching. It was on Netflix. Champion. It was a series about. It was basically like a British Empire. So it was a family of Caribbean English folks. So you got the Bruvs and all that. The music was really good. The story was okay. We just got finished watching that. We just got finished. You know what I want to? Are you watching? We did Raising Kanan. Yes. Key doesn't watch Raising Kanan.
Y'all both can go to hell.
Whatever.
It's not never happening.
Raising Kanan. This was the best season of Raising Kanan. That just went into its hiatus, but we're watching this series called Found.
You told me about this.
It-
It's on me and Omar's list. We're about to get into it. We're both about to get into it.
I'm just telling you. Let me just give you my brief synopsis of Found. It's trying to be Scandal. It's trying to be Scandal, but every character that's on there has a huge like problem in that they have some traumatic experience in their life, and they overdo it. It's just like every scene is like a heart jerk. And I'm not giving anything away. The bottom line is that the main character is a black woman who's supposed to be like the Scandal character.
And that makes it hard to relate to those characters in real life, though.
It makes it hard to relate to the character, but to set it up, because this is at the beginning, so this isn't giving anything away. The guy Gosler, I never remember his name, from Saved by the Bell. Michael Paul Gosler. He kidnapped the main black character woman. It is on NBC, Dijon. He kidnapped the main black woman character as a teenager. She has him kidnapped and locked in her basement. And so, right.
I'm already out.
He's I'm out. Because and you know how you get into these shows and you get 4 or 5 episodes and you're like, doggone it, I done got too deep. Now I got to see where this is going. But it's just like first of all, how you got somebody in your basement, you got people coming to the crib, and you got people coming to the house, and you got a bunch of locks on the doggone basement door. Like, if I come to your house, see a bunch of locks, like, what you got down there? And so and so we're watching that, and then Trey, I walked in there and she was watching it's a series that's on, I don't know what network it's on, I have to find out, but it's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and they're doing a dramatic
that is on Nat Geo on Disney Plus.
Yes. So we're watching
that is Nat Geo Disney Plus. Yes.
And then so I gotta balance out my Martin Luther King, Malcolm X with my BMF. So we'll be watching BMF.
So what we're watching, because that's crazy. We actually just got done watching The Marvels. That's the movie I said I would never watch. We watched it. It came out on Disney Plus. It was as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was cute and adorable, but it was as bad as I thought it was. It's too much girl power in the world right now. I know I'm supposed to be a feminist. Yay, women. But that was like, I'm good. I'm okay. I'll hard pass. It was a fun watch. The new movie Miss Madam is also another Sony production and related to the Spider-Man that flopped at the box office. I cannot wait to go see the Bob Dakota Fanning, the girl from 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, the Bob Marley movie came out and crushed box offices, and me and Omar cannot wait to go see the Bob Marley One Love movie. It's going to be
Saran, I was looking at, because the kids are off this week, so we may find some time to slip out sometime tomorrow and go and see
the one movie that I did watch before we go into the One Love, if we're going to talk about it a little bit. We watched Barbie this weekend, me and my husband, and I get why people hyped it up. It was a good movie. It had a great message. It was really interesting. Did you watch the Barbie movie? You should watch it. I know why you didn't. I totally get why you didn't watch it. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
It was a good movie. I was actually surprised with the messaging, and the cast is diverse, but not punch you in the face diverse, where it makes you not want to watch it because it's so diverse. It was a good movie with a good lesson and a good message or whatever. Now, would that message have gone over a lot better 10 years ago? Yes. Is it a little played out now? Yes. But the movie was still done good and creative. So that's
so they put enough money in it, and it was a great ensemble cast. They had a whole rack of people in there. I think is it Issa Rae in there, and it's so funny how the huge
a lot of diversity without being too diverse. Alexander Shipp was in it. Simu Liu, who was, the Master of the Ten Rings in the Marvel Universe. You've got Ryan Gosling. You've got, who's the woman married to Danny DeVito? I always forget what her name is.
Who's married to Danny DeVito?
They've been married for 30 years.
I don't know. I have no idea.
In real life.
I have no idea.
Will Ferrell is smashing it for no reason. America Ferrera is in there for her reason. So anything else?
I've been trying to the Flower Moon movie. I don't know. I'm gonna be messing up the name of it. The one with what's his name from Titanic?
Leonardo
DiCaprio. Every time I look at it and want to start it, I'm like, it's 3 hours.
It's a long watch and it's a hard watch. That's why I'm sticking to the book.
I'm eventually gonna try it, but yeah. So anyway, all right, y'all. We went a little bit long today because we can, and nobody can tell us that we can't. So we appreciate y'all. Pretty soon we're gonna start to be in those vertical video streets, because now, and the only way we can do it tonight because kids mad because he said it makes her head look big in the
It's
box.
claustrophobic. I don't like it. It's like,
So as we
so
continue to build this
tight.
audience, we want to build audiences in the YouTubes and all of that. Now, when you go to YouTube, you see the shorts. They're doing live video in that space now, and actually with this wonderful platform that we have over here, Ecamm, we can do simulcast on both platforms. And so look for that. We'll try to find some time during the week to put some of that. In the meantime, kid, give me 1 minute. So yeah, if you want to produce some fly stuff like what we're doing right here, or if you want to be trained on how to do it, just hit me up, LloydMediaGroup.net, and get in my in. But as you can see, I don't touch on 10% of all I can do with the platform that we have here. And so if you're watching this live or in the comments, there's a link you can get an affiliate link, and yes, I'll get a couple coins for that. All good. So anyway, before we get about, you got anything else?
I don't. It was a great show. It was a fun show. Thank you guys to our loyal listeners and fans who comment and make comments about us and interact with the show. We love you. We appreciate you. And yes, I was on one. Blame the red wine. It's red wine. That's the problem. I gotta stick to white liquor, and I'm good.
When it's all said and done, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all go to YouTube, search Life Full Circle Radio, and give us a follow, give us a subscription. Because we got to start. There's some opportunities, some different things we can to start selling and making some stuff opportunity. But we got to get to 1,000 subs. So make sure you follow us there. Tell your friends about it. If you love the show, tell some folks about it. Peace and a bye-bye.